The Central Intelligence Agency CIA was everywhere. Their satellites orbited silently overhead, snapping high resolution images of every corner of the globe. Their network of agents and informants infiltrated governments, labs, even the most secure installations. If a secret existed, the CIA prided itself on uncovering it. And yet, in the blistering summer of 1974, the world witnessed the impossible. A nuclear explosion erupted in the remote deserts of Pokhran, India. The earth shook, the sky glowed, and the CIA, despite all its power, had been caught off guard. How did India, a developing nation under constant surveillance, pull off the world's most closely watched technological feat right under the nose of the world's best spies? This is the untold story of deception, secrecy, and the unparalleled ingenuity of India's own shadowy intelligence agency, RAW. This is the silent saga behind Operation Smiling Buddha, India's first nuclear test. The seeds of this operation were sown a decade earlier. In 1964, China detonated its first nuclear device, instantly altering the security landscape of Asia. For India, the blast was more than a distant echo. It was a warning. Hemmed in by rivals, still reeling from military setbacks, India found itself exposed, vulnerable, and surrounded by nuclear-armed states. The message was clear. In a region where power was measured in kilotons, India needed its own deterrent. The decision wasn't made lightly. Scientists debated ethics, and engineers wrestled with physics, but the lessons of 1971, another brutal war with Pakistan, left no room for doubt. India's sovereignty depended on the bomb. But a new challenge emerged. The CIA had made India's nuclear ambitions a top priority. Their satellites were programmed to scan every Indian nuclear facility. Spies lurked in diplomatic circles, always listening, always watching. Any whisper of a nuclear program, and international pressure would descend, crushing the project before it could begin. Enter RAW, the research and analysis wing. Their mission was not to build the bomb, but to cloak it in invisibility, to outsmart the world's most formidable intelligence agency at every turn. The battle of wits began in earnest. The CIA's arsenal was vast. Satellites with cameras sharp enough to spot a car from space, field agents embedded in embassies across Delhi, and informants who tracked Indian scientists. RAW countered with an unmatched discipline of secrecy. Sensitive documents were never sent electronically. Every piece of paper was hand-delivered, never copied. Team members were assigned code names, their real identities compartmentalized, so information could never travel far. Equipment needed for the project, delicate, suspicious and rare, was shipped at night, disguised as shipments of farm machinery or construction tools. Trucks made circuit tours, routes across the country, changing license plates and drivers, always eluding prying eyes. The movement of scientists posed another challenge. Their research trips were camouflaged as ordinary academic exchanges or geological surveys. When they traveled, they did so in groups, always for plausible reasons. Their true destination and purpose remained hidden, even from colleagues. RAW even chose a project name designed to mislead, Smiling Buddha. Serene, peaceful, almost spiritual. A name that suggested tranquility, not terror. Every layer of the operation was camouflaged, every step a calculated misdirection. The heart of the operation beat in the sands of Pokhran, a remote town in Rajasthan, far from the glare of the world's attention. Here, the test site would be carved out of the desert, a place so desolate that even locals barely ventured near. But secrecy was paramount. Instead of using heavy machinery, which would attract attention and emit telltale heat signatures, RAW insisted the shaft be dug by hand. Dozens of laborers worked in silence, shoveling sand and rock 30 feet below the surface. Every move was synchronized with spy satellite overpasses. RAW maintained a meticulous schedule, halting all visible activity whenever a foreign satellite was due overhead. Not a single tire track, not a puff of dust would betray them. But the danger wasn't just from above. The human threat was equally real. RAW planted false rumors in the local press, hinting at unrelated military exercises or agricultural projects. They monitored known informants and neutralized any potential leaks with swift, silent efficiency. Communication between teams was strictly in person. No telephones, no radios, no written messages. Each person knew only what they needed to know and nothing more. The bomb itself, assembled from parts manufactured in different corners of the country, was brought together only days before the test. Even the engineers who built the shaft didn't know what it was for. Then on May 18, 1974, as the desert sun rose, the world changed forever. At 8:05 a.m., the device was triggered. A blinding flash, a subterranean roar, and a plume of dust marked the birth of India's nuclear capability. The CIA was caught flat footed. No satellite images, no intercepted messages, no whispers in diplomatic corridors had warned them. The next day, headlines screamed कि India joins the nuclear club. The world's intelligence community was stunned, forced to confront the fact that they had missed the most significant nuclear event of the decade. Internationally, the reaction was swift and severe. The United States and Canada, both providers of nuclear technology to India, imposed harsh sanctions. Outrage echoed through the halls of power in Washington, Ottawa, and London. But it was too late. The genie was out of the bottle. India had become the first nation outside the world's 5 recognized nuclear powers to test an atomic bomb. The operation had gone off flawlessly. Raw's counterintelligence had blocked every avenue of discovery. The scientists were protected, their identities and work shielded from scrutiny. No leaks, no evidence, no trace for foreign agencies to follow. Officially, Raw's role was never acknowledged, but insiders knew. Without their vigilance, the bomb would have remained a dream. In the aftermath, as the world recalibrated to the new reality, a quiet victory settled over the sands of Pokhran. The code name, Smiling Buddha, took on new meaning. It was not just a reference to peace, but to the triumph of will and intellect over brute force. India had proven that even without the biggest budgets or the largest armies, a nation could change the course of history with determination, discipline, and secrecy. Operation Smiling Buddha was not merely a nuclear test, it was the silent masterpiece of Raw, a testament to the unseen heroes who worked in the shadows. The CIA never saw it coming, and that perhaps was the greatest success of all. Jai Hind.